Salutations, YouTube. It's me, the commissioner, back at you again with another before work video. First and foremost, I'd like to say, happy MLK Day. Hopefully you guys take the time out to just appreciate some of the things that Martin Luther King has done for your civil rights, and hopefully you guys can pass on positive vibrations to your neighbors. Today's video, some little light stuff, nothing too crazy, nothing too in depth. It was just just a little like fleeting thought that just passed my mind. It's been kind of crossing my mind since the other day. I think it mainly has to deal with just everybody's overall downplaying as to why Drake would be suing UMG and indirectly trying to stop or at least derail Kendrick's performance of Not Like Us at the Super Bowl halftime. I think it's already been said that the message that Kendrick has been saying, or the message that Kendrick has been kind of like pushing out there, is the whole PDF file allegations. And I think I know that a lot of the younger audience, they think it's just like your regular name calling banter that's being taken place. And don't get me wrong, the song's very catchy. It's a dance bop. There hasn't been any kind of information that has been brought to light that could kind of like solidify or at least put like a level of legitimacy to that particular claim that's on that song. But hey, for me, the more that I sit with everything and the more that I kind of internalize a lot of what's been going on, I can see why. I know why Drake is doing this. Okay, you'll hear from time to time, or actually you'll hear quite often, that a few things that a man actually owns and protects should be his word, should be his level of integrity, and should be his name. And the last one's the one that kind of hits the hardest, because Drake has kind of developed a reputation of being, not to say a womanizer, but somebody that really doesn't respect the sanctity of a relationship. I get it. He's in the entertainment business. It is what it is. These blanks are for everybody, all that kind of nonsense. But there is a certain level of there's a certain level of decorum that you got to kind of carry, you can sleep with this person, you can sleep with that person, but at some point in time, you kind of have to have a little bit of honor to what you're doing, because it just looks very sloppy when you start doing stuff like that, especially being indiscriminate as to who you have affairs with and the people that they're associated with. It just, after a while, it just starts to look very murky, if you kind of get my drift. Okay, he's gotten that reputation. People have kind of been labeled as worse. They could move on. It's not like a damning deal. But the PDF allegations, that's when it gets dicey. That's when it gets real dicey. And I think we all I can't say we all, but me personally, because Drake has always been, he's always been kind of he's always been kind of like, his songs are usually like the anthems for certain people or certain people's life, especially mine, growing up. Nothing Was the Same, his second album, all these various, singles. I mean, even Hotline Bling had a nice little backdrop to some of my summers back in the days. Like, I personally don't want any of those allegations to be true. Yeah, the video of him kind of like trying to flirt with that chick on stage that was clearly underage. Okay, I'm hoping that that's kind of like as far as anything has gone, because I mean, I don't think any, I mean, I wouldn't want to see somebody go down like that, especially since they play such a pivotal role in my entertainment growing up, you know? But if the allegations are true, bring them to justice. And that's where the issue lies. With an allegation like that stuck to your name, it's almost like it's a it's like a target on your back for the rest of your life. Put it like this. In my opinion, if he performs, which I'm pretty sure he's going to perform this song on the Super Bowl, Drake is going to be a target for the rest of his life. I might be dragging it. Oh man, you're thinking too deep. It ain't even that serious. I hope not. But as long as he's around, and that label, or even just the thought that there might be some truth to it, because mind you, at the end of the day, the court of public opinion is just as damning as an actual true to life court proceeding. And if you can get enough people to believe that there might be some truth to an allegation, it's open season on you. Case in point, Bill Cosby. Yeah, oh man, that ain't true. There's no correlation. There kind of is. From what was being alluded when his trial was going on, it was kind of like one of those industry secrets, like, oh, you party with him, XYZ, you wake up groggy, you're not knowing what's going on. And granted, a majority of the allegations took place around the 60s and 70s, and at that time, Quaalude was like a party drug. So it's kind of hard to say that, was it involuntary or was it something voluntary? I mean, it's not my place to judge. They've already judged him. He's been sentenced. Okay. But now the problem comes is that look how long it took some of these people to come forward and put him behind bars. You see where I'm going with this? Now, okay, granted, Drake's a young guy, and like I said, I'm hoping that a majority, like that allegation, it's not as deep as Kendrick is alluding to. But if you could just imagine, when Drake his name has been kind of out of the mainstream circulation, and he does his various pop-ups here and there, there's gonna be a time where you're gonna get miscellaneous women popping up. Oh, when I was XYZ, he did this to me, and I was XYZ, he did that to me. And that's where everything will start to really hit the fan. Because it's kind of like, okay, now some people are going to start taking it real serious. Oh, yeah. Kendrick did try to warn us at the Super Bowl that, that song really did kind of outline what Drake was really up to at the embassy. Blah, 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 blah. And yeah, man, I think he doesn't want that to happen. I mean, how could you? Because mind you, at the end of the day, like I said, the court of popular opinion, once they've made up their mind as a collective to say, no, you're like this, or I kind of believe the person, even if it's the total BS, it's not true. If there's just a shadow of a doubt, you're cooked. Like, look at Jay-Z, with that statement from this young girl that happened at the end of a music video award, that him, and Diddy were doing some nefarious things at a party, and she said that he did this while other people were watching. Some people were like, that's impossible. Like, his reputation was literally tested in front of everybody. And the reason why it seems so believable, because he's been seen taking photos with Diddy in the past. There was that sliver of doubt, like, maybe he was in on some of those freak offs that Diddy was up to. And what did he do? He didn't even go through a publicist. He didn't go through an assistant. I mean, he just went, bah, 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 bah. That ain't me, blah, 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 blah. If you think that you're going to try to get some money out of me over my dead body, blah, 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 blah. He had to stomp it out because his reputation was literally on the line. He could not let another minute go by and put that little seed of doubt on his name out there. And the reason why the things that he said held so much weight is because from an outwardly perspective, he's always carried himself as a shrewd businessman, but a respectable individual. He has a family, he has a daughter, he supports his wife, he's out the way. As an adult, he's out the way. And these things, they hold weight in the court of popular opinion. So now, back to the Drake situation, his name doesn't hold that weight because of his actions in the past. So now he has to take things physically into his own hands by literally, I would rather look like a lame as a sore loser in this rap battle, as opposed to the alternative and being labeled as a PDF file. I mean, I might have been all over the place. All right, forgive me. But I at least want to pull it back in and just let you sit with that thought process. It's crazy, man. And it's only going to get crazier. We're so close to February. Do you know what he's going to start? I mean, in my opinion, I have no proof on that. I don't have an inside connect or whatever. He's going to have to start throwing Hail Marys, no pun intended. He needs to. A gag order? I don't know what he's gonna do, but he needs to make this happen. His proverbial life is on the line. So we'll see. Yeah, man. Thank you for spending time with me. Rate, comment, subscribe, and please, I don't even want to sound like I'm begging. Leave a comment. I definitely want to get some feedback. I mean, let's grow together, man. It's the commissioner. Out.